Have you ever felt your world crumble, as if life itself was tearing apart everything you once knew, only to find that, in the ruins, a spark of something new began to emerge? Life, in its deepest and most profound sense, often demands that we let go of what no longer serves us. This process of shedding, of allowing ourselves to be consumed and transformed, mirrors the essence of the phoenix archetype, rebirth through destruction. The phoenix, a mythological bird that bursts into flames and rises anew from its own ashes, is not just a symbol of renewal but a powerful metaphor for human transformation. In the destruction of old identities, beliefs, and attachments, we often discover new forms of self-expression and growth. Through this process, life invites us to face the fire of our own existence, not as an ending, but as a necessary stage of our ongoing evolution. The idea of destruction preceding rebirth is universal, found across cultures and histories, from the myth of the phoenix in ancient Greece and Egypt to modern psychological theories of change. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, believed in the concept of individuation, the process of becoming one's true self. Jungian psychology suggests that this journey is not linear but cyclical, involving the confrontation of the unconscious, the destruction of old patterns, and the subsequent emergence of a more integrated, authentic self. Like the phoenix, the process of individuation demands that we undergo a symbolic death of our outdated ideas of who we are, before we can experience rebirth. In Jungian terms, this death isn't literal but psychological. It involves confronting the shadow, the parts of ourselves that we repress or deny. Often, we are reluctant to face these aspects of ourselves, as they are tied to shame, guilt, and fear. But the phoenix archetype invites us to understand that these destructive forces are not the end. Instead, they are the necessary fire that burns away what no longer serves our growth. Jung argued that the shadow, when integrated, can lead to greater wisdom and self-acceptance. The destruction of the old self is painful, but it is through this fire that we are able to emerge into a new understanding of ourselves, more whole and authentic. Psychology also offers insights into the stages of transformation, which often mirror the cycle of destruction and rebirth. According to the stages of grief developed by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, we must pass through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance before we can truly let go of the old and embrace the new. This is similar to the phoenix's journey through the flames. It first appears to be consumed entirely by fire, only to rise once more, reborn. The process of grief and transformation is messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes unbearable, but it is a process of shedding, of releasing the old to make way for the new. Another psychological perspective comes from Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, who developed the concept of logotherapy, the search for meaning in life, especially in suffering. Frankl believed that suffering, while unavoidable, can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. Like the phoenix, we can choose to find meaning in our suffering, using it as the catalyst for rebirth. It is through facing the most difficult and destructive moments of our lives that we are given the opportunity to emerge with greater strength, clarity, and understanding. The destruction and rebirth process is not only external, in the sense of losing relationships, jobs, or material possessions, but it also plays out within our internal worlds. Psychological theories often emphasize the importance of self-awareness and self-reflection in the process of growth. Cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT), for example, posits that we can transform our lives by changing our thinking patterns. This process involves dismantling old, harmful beliefs and replacing them with healthier, more constructive ones. It is, in essence, a psychological fire that burns away old cognitive patterns to create space for new ways of thinking and being. Moreover, the phoenix's rise from the ashes also mirrors the resilience and strength that we all carry within us, often unconsciously. Research in the field of positive psychology has shown that individuals are capable of remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Resilience, much like the phoenix, is not about avoiding destruction but learning how to navigate through it, emerging from it with a renewed sense of purpose and meaning. Psychologist Martin Seligman, a leading figure in positive psychology, has found that individuals who cultivate resilience are better able to manage stress, recover from setbacks, and lead more fulfilling lives. In this sense, the phoenix archetype serves as a metaphor for the inherent strength we all possess to rise from our own ashes. One of the most powerful elements of the phoenix archetype is its focus on surrender. To be consumed by fire, to burn away all that we know and cling to, requires an immense act of trust. In psychological terms, surrender can be understood as letting go of the need for control, an essential part of the healing and transformation process. Many of us resist change because we fear the unknown or because we are attached to the safety of the familiar, even when it no longer serves us. This attachment to the status quo can be a powerful barrier to growth. Yet, it is only by surrendering to the flames of transformation that we can embrace our true potential. Surrender, in this context, is not a defeat but an acceptance of the natural ebb and flow of life. It involves recognizing that we cannot control every aspect of our existence, but we can control how we respond to it. This act of surrender allows for a deeper connection to our intuition, a trust in the natural unfolding of our lives. When we let go of the old, we make space for the new, allowing ourselves to rise, like the phoenix, into a new chapter of our journey. The psychological process of transformation through destruction is not always immediate, nor is it without its challenges. Just as the phoenix must endure the fire before it can rise anew, so too must we face the emotional and psychological turmoil that often accompanies transformation. This process is deeply uncomfortable and, at times, painful. But it is in these very moments of discomfort that we grow the most. The fire that consumes us in times of hardship also acts as a crucible, refining us, honing our strength, and preparing us for the next phase of our journey. The ashes left behind by the phoenix represent a place of potential. In psychology, this idea parallels the concept of the liminal space, the period of transition between the old and the new. Liminal spaces are often uncomfortable because they are undefined and uncertain. But they are also places of immense potential. It is in the space between what we were and what we are becoming that we find the opportunity to redefine ourselves, to recreate our identities, and to discover new paths forward. The phoenix archetype speaks to this liminal space. It is a reminder that destruction is not final but a necessary part of the process of transformation. The ashes, in this sense, are not a symbol of defeat, but of the fertile ground from which new growth will emerge. They represent the lessons we have learned, the wisdom we have gained, and the space we have created for new opportunities. In many ways, the phoenix archetype is a symbol of hope and resilience. It teaches us that no matter how dire our circumstances may seem, there is always the possibility of renewal. Every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning, and the cycle of destruction and rebirth is not only inevitable, but essential for our growth and evolution. It is through the willingness to face the flames of life, to allow ourselves to be transformed, that we become the fullest, most authentic versions of ourselves. The journey of the phoenix archetype is ultimately one of self-discovery. It is about letting go of the false selves that we have constructed, the identities we have outgrown, and the attachments that bind us. It is about embracing the unknown, trusting the process of transformation, and finding the strength to rise from the ashes each time we are brought to the ground. Like the phoenix, we are always being given the opportunity to rise again stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the truth of who we are meant to be.